Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Autumn and this video is going to be a 5 a.m. writing challenge. And I'm already doing it so well. As you can see, I almost spilled my coffee. I think I did spill a little bit of it. That's fine. Whew, I'm looking nice and fresh this morning. I had full plans of starting my 5 a.m. writing challenge today. We're already starting out great. It is 7:50 in the morning and I have not started my 5 a.m. writing challenge for these 5 days. And that is because I forgot to set my alarm last night. So we are going to kick off this 5 a.m. writing challenge at 8 a.m. and I'm going to write from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Do pretty much the 2 hours that I was going to block off from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. I set myself up for failure today, but it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be great. This 5 a.m. writing challenge I decided to do mostly because I am trying to find a flow, a good schedule, a good way of balancing my life right now with how my new schedule is at work, trying to balance school and still trying to find time to write. I wanted to try this challenge for a couple of reasons, and that is one of the main reasons why. I had 5 days off in a row from work, so I decided to still get up at 5 a.m. try my best with doing a little bit of writing and then having the entire rest of the day to get everything else done. So since I have like 4 minutes left before I am going to start writing at 8 a.m., I wanted to tell you guys what I'm going to be working on for this challenge. If you saw my last video or a couple videos ago, I was talking about working on a brand new book in a totally new genre, and that is what I'm going to be working on today. It is my psychological thriller. At the time of that video, I didn't have a project title. I know what I want the book to be called, but we can't spoil that right now. So the title of this psychological thriller is called Project Getaway, and this story is going to be following two main characters, both of their point of views. They're acquaintances, kind of sort of friends. They are going to this mountain retreat for an entire week, but after a few hours, weird things start happening and we get the isolation trope. One of our narrators is an untrustworthy narrator. I am very, very excited with this project and the work that I've done with it so far. I am a little bit into chapter 3. This is technically the second chapter being told from one of our... Oh, hello. Well, hi. I see you. So chapter 3 is the second chapter being told by one of our main characters. Met both of our main characters a little more than 3 chapters in, a little less than 3,000 words in. I feel like that's all I need to tell you guys because now I need to start writing. I am going to put a pin in writing this morning. It's not 10, I'll be totally honest, but it's getting a little late and I'm getting a little anxious because I have some other things that I have to absolutely get done today. I feel really great with the writing that I've done this morning, and I feel like if I keep going, the quality of the words are not going to be the best. I wrote for about an hour and 20 minutes. I have a little over 4,000 words now. It's like 4,107 words. I feel really great about what I did this morning. I'm still on chapter 3 in that one character's POV. We're learning a little bit more about this character because we're inside her head right now. She's weird. I'll be totally honest. She weirds me out, and I really like how creepy and suspenseful she is and how she doesn't trust anybody. We have seen this pretty much in both of her 2 chapters that she has severe trust issues with people, and I've hinted at why she feels this way. I want this to continue to develop through the story. We eventually will learn the reasons why she is so guarded and why she doesn't trust people. Hopefully tomorrow I can finish this chapter and start a little bit of chapter chapter 4 and go back to the other character, because there's a lot with that character that I want to nail down in her POV. I've introduced her into chapter 2. We've gotten a lot about her, like assumptions about her, through our other characters' lenses in chapter 1 and 3. But I'm excited to get to chapter 4, which will be that character's second chapter, and to play around with those assumptions, to kind of poke at certain things and different opportunities that we're going to have as the reader to see how this character is. And I am really excited about it. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. It's going to be a lot darker tomorrow because I will actually be doing what I'm supposed to be doing and setting my alarm for 5 o'clock in the morning so we can continue with this 5 a.m. writing challenge, even though it's almost 10 o'clock. Wow, I look just as lovely today as I did yesterday. I'm gonna put a pin in today. It's a little past 7. It's actually 7:04. I wrote for maybe an hour and 10 minutes. I took one break to refill my coffee and to get some more water. Pretty much wrote for that entire time is what I'm saying. That writing sprint, or this writing session, went so extremely well. I wrote almost 1,500 words. My entire manuscript is at 5,683 words. I did finish chapter 3 where I stopped in chapter 4. It makes a really good pause in this character's chapters in her voice. So for chapter 5, I'm going to switch back to the other character. But you may have noticed that I had pulled out Save the Cat Writes a Novel. That is because I was looking at the themes in here, and I don't know if I mentioned this. I don't think I have really talked about this story and everything with it. I have not done a lot of plotting with this story. I have my 2 main characters, I have the ending, and I have a little bit, like a very brief definition of both of those characters. And I dove in. I've never done that before, but I've also never written a thriller before, which means this is obviously my first time attempting to write a thriller. And I really just wanted to surprise myself, just to see where I could go with this story, with the ideas that I had and the ending that I had. I was referring back to Save the Cat for the themes, but I was also looking at the beat sheet, just kind of eyeballing where I'm at in this story. I would still say, obviously I'm in Act 1, and if you know anything about the beat sheet, it's broken down into like Act 1, Act 2, Act 3 is broken down even further into multiple parts. So like for Act 1, it's broken down into your opening image, the theme stated, your setup, catalyst, and then the debate, and then that is what pushes you into Act 2. What I've been doing is just reading through the beat sheet, thinking about the points I have for this story and the definitions of my characters. I should also say I do have a few bullet points of the things that happen in the story, or the things that I want to happen in the story, but other than that, there's no plotting done. Chapter 3 talked about... Whoa, you okay over there? Hey, let's not climb that. We don't climb things until 8 a.m., okay? It's only 7:08. You're fine. Chapter 3, I stated the theme for one of my characters, and then at the end of chapter 4, I stated what the theme was for my other character. I think into chapter 5, I'm going to be working on setting up these characters and going forward with Act 1. So both of my characters are getting ready to go to this dinner, but of course at this dinner there's going to be some interesting things that are going to be revealed about both of the characters and the place that they're staying at. I'm very loosely following the beat sheet for at least this first draft, and we'll just see what happens and where it all goes. So far I am enjoying writing this story. He is hog wild right now. But even though I feel like I am not doing a really solid job with waking up at 5 a.m., once I'm sitting down and I'm getting some work done and the work is flowing and the words are flowing, it's coming along. Hopefully tomorrow I can get up at a reasonable time, like, you know, 5 a.m. like this challenge is supposed to be. So far, 2 out of the 5 days, I have not woken up at 5 o'clock in the morning. It's fine. I could have picked a different week to do this, but quite honestly, I don't know what my weeks ahead are going to be looking like. Sometimes we just, this is life. This is just what's happening. Day 2 was a success with writing, was not a success with waking up at 5 a.m. But we'll just have to see what tomorrow brings. I'm so exhausted today. We will talk later. These are the first words that I am actually saying today. Long story short, it's not 5. I woke up at 5, actually 4:57, and then laid in bed for 20 minutes contemplating my life and my choices. I have my coffee brewing. It's almost finished, and then I am going to sit down and do my writing for the day. I feel fine. Besides just being completely exhausted, it's fine. Everything is fine. I have progressively gotten more tired as the days have gone by. So far, I have not successfully been planning my butt in the chair to be writing close to 5, but it's fine, I guess, even though it's a challenge and I'm technically supposed to. I look so much more tired than I actually am. Cat butt, excuse you. I am finished with my writing session for today. I will be totally honest, I struggled a little bit with this one. I struggled to get into this writing session today. I know it's for a few reasons. The first one is I'm tired and I did not go to bed until like 10:30 last night because after I finished my writing session yesterday, I literally spent the next 14 hours doing schoolwork, and then I went straight to bed and I woke up and here we are. I had a difficult time getting into the story. I think it was just where I had left off and I was just trying to figure out how to connect what I wanted to happen in that scene to what the previous chapter was. But I wrote over 2,000 words today, so that counts for something. I'm almost at 8,000 words in this manuscript. It's coming along quite nice. I finished chapter 5. I started on chapter 6 and I'm a little bit into chapter 6. Like I said earlier, each of the characters are getting a chapter, so I'm rotating in between the two. We have learned more about the backstories of my two characters. Following the beat sheet and Save the Cat, I am setting up, what is it called? Setting the stage? I don't feel like that's what it's called. Oh, I guess it's called the setup. I've already did the opening scene. I have stated the theme and now we're doing the setup. Both of my characters, we are learning more about them, and according to Save the Cat Writes a Novel, in the setup it says number 3, what does it do? It sets up your hero's life and their status quo world before everything happens. I feel pretty good about that. We're getting to know our characters, a little bit about their personal struggles and how they aren't really what they seem, especially with their initial introduction to each other and of course to the reader. While I feel like I struggled a lot more than these last 2 mornings with starting the story, I eventually did get into this chapter and worked a little bit on it, but that's going to be the update for today. I will come back tomorrow and I'm going to try so very hard to be sitting down here at least earlier than what I've been doing these last 3 mornings, because of course this is a 5 a.m. writing challenge and I have not sat down at 5 a.m. any of these days to work on my story and to do this challenge. I'm going to aim for a little bit earlier tomorrow morning, and hopefully by the end of this challenge I could be waking up or at least sitting down in this seat at 5 a.m. So we'll see what happens. Today's gonna be a long day because I am exhausted. Hopefully I can get everything else done and I can go to bed earlier and have a good night's rest. So far, you know, I know I'm only 3 days into it. I really like getting up early, getting some writing done before I do everything else. I feel like now I can focus on everything else. I've had a little bit of my creativity for the day and I just feel so much better knowing that I was able to dedicate a little bit of time to my hobbies and a little bit of time to the things that I enjoy. I am proud that I'm doing this, and honestly, I wish I had the power to do this more often. It's just with my work schedule. I work 12s, and so when I have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to get ready to go to work, there's no time to do this on the days that I work. So if I ever, worked a different job or worked different hours, I think I could do this the long run, long term, and get a lot done with the story or get a lot done with my writing. The camera died. Or make this more of a constant thing versus just doing this challenge. And then who knows next time that I'll write when I'm finished with this challenge. But hopefully that won't be the case. We can talk more about all of that and my feelings at the end of this writing challenge. I just wanted to give you guys my 2 cents since I'm halfway through the challenge now. He started scratching on his scratching post as soon as I hit record. Today is the last day of this challenge. I have some explanations for what happened yesterday, but I am late. I did not do what I said I was gonna do. In fact, this entire challenge has been a fail, but we will get to all of that. I am going to pour my coffee and sit down and write for a little more than an hour, and then I will come back and we can chat. Okay, so let's have a chat about this writing challenge. I wanted to give you guys an explanation as to why I only did 4 days instead of 5 days. I missed an entire day, and that is because I had so much schoolwork. I woke up early. I honestly don't remember what time I woke up. We know it's not 5. I spent all that time doing schoolwork, and sometimes we have to prioritize things. Sometimes what we want to do and our hobbies have to take a back seat. And that's on me for scheduling and attempting to do a challenge during a busy school week / still working. Even though I'm considering it a lose, a big fat L, I am really proud of myself for trying to stick with it and doing my best. And the whole point of this was to try and figure out a schedule and to try and find a way to weave writing into my schedule and to write more consistently. I am not going to be too hard on myself because I was writing, I was doing the best that I possibly could. I want to let you guys know that it has been a few days since I've completed this challenge. I'm happy to report that I am still getting up relatively early, like between 5 and 6, even on the days that I'm not working. And I'm either doing a little bit of writing or doing a little bit of outlining or doing something that's more creative, whether it's working on my YouTube videos, getting Instagram reels ready, whatever it is. I am setting aside my mornings on my days off to be creative. And I think that's really amazing because I think that's something that we neglect, or when we take on more stuff, like I am going back to school full-time and I'm working full-time, that we tend to neglect the things that bring us joy. And like how writing brings me joy and sharing my journey with you guys, that brings me joy. I am making it a point with myself to make sure I don't lose that creativity. I think that that is the moral of this vlog. Even though it's a fail, I am proud that I was able to do this, and I'm really happy I was able to do it too. I am gonna go ahead and sign off here. If you want to see another 5 a.m. writing challenge, definitely let me know down in the comments below. If you've ever done a 5 a.m. writing challenge, if you ever wanted to do this type of challenge, definitely let me know down in the comments below. But thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.